Hey, church family, thank you for tuning in and joining me for this Wednesday Bible study. This is kind of going back to the 5 minutes with Pastor Frank. So it's going to be short, it's going to be brief, and I certainly hope that it's going to be encouraging to you. You know, over the next several weeks, I'm going to be looking at first things. There's so many things related to First Baptist Church. Why we use the name we use and why we use some of the logos and mottos and vision statements and purpose statements and things that really describe who our church is. And I think it'll be an encouragement for us to take a look at that. So today, I want you to join me as we explore Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 through 39, just 3 little verses that remind us of what the most important commandment is. Jesus was talking to Sadducees and Pharisees at the same time. They were trying to get him tricked up and get him to say some things that would expose him in their mind as a religious fraud. And so they were asking him lots and lots of questions. And as you know, Jesus was able to silence each of them. Well, he had silenced the Sadducees, and the Pharisees got together, kind of a huddle, you can see the scene, and they say, well, let's ask him this. And so one of the Pharisees turns and says, Teacher, what is the greatest commandment? And without hesitation, Jesus refers back to a passage in Deuteronomy as well as a passage in Leviticus. And so he honors the Old Testament law. And he says to this group of Pharisees, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your body. And the second is like unto it. You must love your neighbor as yourself. You know, you could pick up any coin that you have in your home and you could hold that up, and it's a good illustration of the greatest commandment. You can't have a one-sided coin. And so you can't have love for God without having love for people. Francis Schaeffer, the great theologian, said one time that if we do not show love to one another, the world has a right to question whether Christianity is true. So, you know, when we think in terms of loving God and loving our neighbor, we can't separate the two. They go together. So somebody said not long ago to me that they found busyness to be one of the biggest obstructions in their life to loving other people. And you know, when you stop and think about it, that's probably true for each one of us. We can be busy with hobbies or busy with work or busy with projects or busy with a number of things, and it takes us out of that environment of caring for those who are closest to us, as well as trying to demonstrate love to other people. So here's a challenge that I want to give each one of us. I want you to think about that person that you find the hardest person you know to love. I hope it's not someone in your family or someone in your church family, but it very well may be. I want you to think about that person who may be in your community and they're always, trying to stir up trouble, or they're an activist, and every time you hear their message, even on the television, it just rubs you the wrong way. I want you to think of the person that you find the most difficult person to love, and I want you to begin praying for that person. I want you to pray that God would somehow use your actions to demonstrate the love of Christ to that individual. You know, as a church family, one of the things that is a first thing for us is worshiping God. That's our worship posture. That's getting on our knees. That's raising our hands in worship. That's singing with all of our heart. That's studying His Word. It's loving God, but it's also loving people. We love our neighbors as ourselves. For us, that means looking at the neighborhood where God has placed our church and doing everything we can to love our neighbors around us, no matter who they are, no matter what they look like, no matter where their journey has taken them. We love them because we love God. So church family, as we think about first things in the days ahead, this is your first assignment. Love God with all your heart and pray really hard this week about that person that you're finding it most difficult to love. And let's find a way to demonstrate the love of Christ to everyone we come in contact with. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you here next Wednesday.